our beloved viewers, you are watching on Live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the top stories. The commemoration of the 38th anniversary of the genocide in Rwanda. Migration in Tunisia on the agenda for Georgia Meloni's visit. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. On the occasion of Rwanda genocide commemorations of the Rwandan Embassy in Djibouti organized in cooperation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A ceremony was held on Thursday morning at the People's Palace dedicated to commemorate the 38th anniversary of Rwandan genocide. The Rwandan ambassador to Djibouti presided over this joyful ceremony, which was held under the title Renewing Memory. The United Nations, in commemoration of the 38th anniversary of Rwandan genocide. This occasion was attended by the members of the government, parliamentarians, and representatives of United Nations organization in Djibouti, and I credit the ambassador to the Republic of Djibouti. This occasion witnessed a minute of silence in memory of the memory of the families who perished during the massacres. The Tutsis were made to pay tribute to the victims and to join the Rwandan people. In his speech, the Rwandan ambassador to Djibouti he praised the effort of Rwandan government headed by the President Paul Kagame, who led the country toward development and strengthening the culture of a society in the country. In his speech, he said that the ambassador today we are meeting to commemorate the 38th anniversary of the genocide.
Let me begin by conveying my sincere gratitude to you, Honorable Minister, and our guest of honor, Excellencies, Ministers, Excellencies, Ambassadors, and everyone in attendance for accepting our invitation and for continued support to Rwanda as we continue to remember the lives lost in 1994 genocide against the Tutsi from the 7th of April to 3rd July 1994. From April 7th, Rwanda is in a period that marks the 30th commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, with the theme, Remember, Unite, and Renew. In this respect, we are particularly grateful to the government and the friendly people of the Republic of Djibouti for their unwavering support and contribution to the holding of such annual commemorative event. You are standing together with the brotherly people of the Republic of Rwanda is comforting and always highly appreciated. Today, we are therefore here to honor the memory of more than 1 million people systematically murdered 30 years ago over a period of only 100 days, simply because of their ethnicity. And at the same time, we are here to stand in solidarity with the survivors. Excellencies, the sanctity of human life ought not to be an issue that needs to be compromised. But history does not show us that this has been the case. Many compromises have been witnessed, and today we recall the tragedy that befell Rwanda in 1994, when indeed more than 1 million innocent lives were lost in the genocide against the Tutsi community. After the enactment of the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide and the existence of various international human rights treaties, the expectation was that the obligations of the member states to prevent the ideology of hate, genocide, and hate crimes would diminish. On the contrary, these crimes of violations have not only persisted, but increased in Africa and the world.
For his part, Minister of Justice, Acting Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Ali Hassan Badon, referred to this appropriate that Rwandan people have proven their ability to be flexible, he said, and a strong will to overcome an event of this magnitude that is difficult to imagine. He also added, as we as a Djiboutian are pleased to see a country torn apart by this genocide became it is among the continent's leading countries and role models for good governance and cohesion, social, economic, digital, and economic, but also information. The technologies also. The minister also stressed that Rwanda has demonstrated the African the African can overcome all its problems if it has desire and made a good tithes and its available human and financial resources, conclude the minister. A senior Djiboutian delegation led by the Minister of Finance and Economic, Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dewale, participated yesterday at the regular meeting of International Monetary Fund, chaired by the Director General, Ms. Katrina Georgia, and her team, with the countries in the Middle East, North Africa, Afghanistan, and Pakistan region, specifically the countries of the Middle East, North Africa, and Pakistan. This has greatly affected the Middle East and North Africa region, in addition to the rise in interest rates in the U.S. market and another sources of concern because of the condition it has become more attractive and investments are moving more toward the American markets at the expense of other countries region. The head of Djiboutian delegates, Mr. Ilyas Moussa Dewale, discussed the special situation of the Republic of Djibouti, despite its small size, occupies and holds a prominent position as a country that contributes to the stability for the entire region. The Minister of Defense in charge of relation with the Parliament, Mr. Hassan Umar Mohammed Burhan, and the President of General Staff, the Army Forces, Lieutenant General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, made an inspection visit in Turkish warship marks and makes an intentional stop in Djibouti for the first time. The Minister and the Chief of General Staff of the Army Forces, the Djiboutian authorities were welcomed with all the upon their arrival abroad. The Turkish ship, which is a symbol of cooperation and friendship between the two countries. The visits include a brief presentation of GP's operational capabilities, highlighting the advanced technologies and firepower and the visibility of this chip. This opportunity provide the Minister and Lieutenant General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim to understand strategies maritime defense and better provide by the Turkish Navy. The event was marked by the signing of GP's guest book, which confirms mutual commitments and continuity relation cooperation. A senior souvenir photo was also taken under the flags of Djibouti and Turkey to commemorate this symbolic moment. It was yesterday, Wednesday, the Minister of Interior, Mr. Saeed Nur Hassan, received a high-ranking delegation in his office headed by the Director General of Immigration Department of Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, the Ethiopian ambassador to Djibouti, and a number of senior officials participated in this meeting. Ethiopian officials on the Djiboutian side, the National Immigration Coordinators, Colonel Abdul Qadir, participated in this meeting, and the Director of Immigrations, Colonel Idris. The meeting focused on a topic of a general interest and security between the two countries, especially the problems related to the security and protection. Regular and irregular migrations was raised. Finally, the parties responsible for migration expressed their desire to strengthen cooperation through the establishing a mechanism to combat the migrants trafficking network. Under the chairmanship of the Honorable Kaltoun Farah Said, the Commission of Legislation, General Administrations and Human Rights examined this 18 April the bill number 113, a reorganization, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training. The meeting took place in the presence of the Minister of National Education and Vocational Professional Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, accompanied by Senior Education. Following careful considerations and faithful dialogue, the Commission of the Legislation, General Administration and Human Rights conclude exchange transmitting to the next public session the corpus examined by including the proposed amendment. The Committee on Finance, General Economic and Planning this Thursday, April, the Finance and General Economic Committee has examined draft law number 72, adopting the account financial advisors of Djibouti Geothermal Energy Development Office for the fiscal year 2018-19 and 2020, but also 2021 and 22. This meeting, chaired by the Honorable Sharmake Musare, took place with the participation of the Secretary General of the Government, the Director General of the Accounting Officials and Establishments. After the constructive discussion, the Commissioners issued a favorable opinion and transmitted the financial account for adoption during the public session. It was yesterday the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Mr. Yunis Ali Gedi, participated in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, in work of 14 sessions of Agency Assembly International Renewable Energy. The Minister Yunis Ali Gedi represents the Republic of Djibouti in this important meeting at the International Renewable Energy Agency. It was headed by a delegation consisting of ambassadors and plenipotentiary of the Republic of Djibouti to the United Arab Emirates and a permanent representative of the International Renewable Energy Agency, Mr. Musa Mohammed, and his technical advisor, Mr. Mahdi Waberi, but also his gathering, which is the main global platform diversity exchange on all areas, opening of the plenary session of the International Renewable Energy presence of dignitaries permanent, among them the president of the 28th Conference of the Parties and the Minister of Industry Advanced Technologies of the United Arab Emirates, a special envoy for climate change, but also other guests were participating in this event. For this, followed by a high-level plenary session. The level was way and means of exchanging, doubling of productions of renewable energy in the world is 3 times by 2030. It was yesterday, Wednesday, a workshop was held at the Institute of Diplomatic Studies for presentation and consultations with the representative of the stakeholders on the result of the independent evaluations and UN program management response development. The workshop, which was chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Many participants include government figures and representatives of United Nations Program Development. The aim of the workshop was to present the results of independent evaluations of United Nations Program UNDP in Djibouti and collected stakeholders' comment on UNDP management responses. Under the high patronage of the Minister of Higher Education and Researches, Dr. Nabil Mohammed Ahmed, and within the framework of the definition with the researches of work carried out by the Djibouti Studies and Researches Center, a workshop was held entitled the nominal systems and the act of naming and the language spoken in the Horn of Africa. It was held today, Thursday, at the CERD conference hall. In the conference hall of CERD, the ceremony was chaired by the Director General of the Educational Center for Researches and Development and the Director General of Djiboutian Language Institute, Mr. Mohammed Hassan. This work presents 7 articles on this language during this event and was organized by the Institute Language in Djibouti on December 13. 2 axes were developed in this work. The first focus on a study of nominal systems in language, but also the technological perspective, while the second, which is more natures and explore the noun verbs and the Kushik language spoken in the Horn of Africa. The authors of different article schemes from different institutions, such as the Language Institute of Djibouti, the Independent Resources of the Horn of Africa, and the University of the Italy and University of Tours in France and African language. The Director General of Djibouti Research Center explained in his speech that this work present 7 articles on this language during the event for this event, which is organized by the Institute of Language in Djibouti, and these 7 essays in this work have been submitted for unanimous evaluation by prominent figures in the field of linguistic and oral literature according to the principles of a peer-reviewed, he said. This morning, the National Agency for Persons with Special Need organized a certificate award ceremony called Friendly People with Special Need in the agency's meeting room. The opening ceremony was chaired by Director General of the National Agency for Persons with Special Need, Mr. Douali Said. This ceremony was attended by General Director of Al Gamil Group and officials from the National Agency for People with Special Need. The ceremony comes within the framework of promoting participation, integration, and equal opportunity for people with special need. Finally, the Director General of the National Agency for People with Disabilities, Mr. Douali Said Mohammed, presented the meeting friendly mark certificate for the Director of Al Gamil Group Company and for their commitment to promoting the professional inclusions of a person with a special need. The High Command of National Gendarmeries organized a 2-week training courses of schools International Judicial Police Training Center located at 23 kilometers point for the benefit of commanders, regionals, and resources brigades. These training courses is presented by two experts from French gendarmerie, especially from the Centre National Public Security Training, aimed to enhance the knowledge gained in operational planning, managing the unities, personals, and resources, as well as receiving an opportunity victims of criminal act. It also aims to remind trainees of principle of military system organizing the gendarmerie's forces and to integrate them with the public security activities in which the brigades work on a daily basis. It should be noted that the commanders of all brigades of the Republic, whether the capitals or the region interior, participated in this training. The latest weather data reveals a diversity of raining conditions in areas of Djibouti impress certain areas of national territory. The weathers of this area have been receive large amounts of participation. This variation of highly climate, the importance of monitoring local weather conditions closely and take opportunity measure to add the potential affected rainfall, whether they are abundant or limited. And now for the regional scenes in Africa, the heavy rains since the last October, East African countries have been witness heavy rains that have caused flood. More than 300 people were killed in the areas. Heavy rains also damaged the infrastructure and forced people living in the flood prone areas cause the displacement, and it is almost a weather event for the resident these areas in Kenya. The rising waters weathers the rising waters levels on the lake and submerge hundreds of humans and homes on one of the largest neighborhoods in Kenya. The affected residents are struggling alone to save what they can for their home. The Kenyan Meteorological Department has warned that the country will witness heavy rains. And the people of Kenya prepare for flood. The rain is expected to reach its peak of the end of this month. And now for the international scenes, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni arrived in Tunisia yesterday, Wednesday, in order to discuss with the Tunisian president the issues of immigration and combating. This visit was centered the efforts in a year on the fight against illegal immigration. In July 2023, the European Union concluded an agreement with Tunisia providing assistance. Tunisia is going through an area of economic turn and return that in return, Tunisia must help stop the flood of migrants to Europe. And in Tunis, Ms. Georgia Meloni presented on Wednesday a progress reported on this agreement that Tunisia became one of the main departure points for candidates to cross the Mediterranean Sea. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.